So gonna be checking those things out, and also check out the last video where I did a breakdown on it. But this is day two. This is day two. I meant to drop this yesterday, but I didn't. Sorry about that. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Also, leave a like and subscribe. Let's get in. All right. Okay, so on this one, like I said, I don't know if this was outside leverage or not. It might have been outside leverage without his consent. Based on the way they lined up, the alignment, it does appear that he's actually playing inside leverage. His feet, it appears to be, like I said, it's a weird angle. His feet appear to be splitting the front foot of the receiver. He is a yard off and he's playing press, but this is another thing, like I said in the last video, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to one-on-ones, especially in pads. If you're going to play press, get your hands on the receiver. There's no reason for you to be that close, because the thing with press coverage is that the biggest disadvantage is if you get beat, you're fucked. All right, if you get beat off the line, you're pretty much cooked. Unless you run a 3.940 or you're prime time, you're basically done for. So if you're going to be this close to the receiver and risk getting beat, why not put your hands on him? Why not put your hands on him and disrupt the timing of the route and of the quarterback's throwing? All right. And his first problem is the footwork. He starts going backwards instead of lateral. And like I said, he may be playing outside leverage and he's just trying to get out there, but his first steps were backwards instead of lateral, and he should have jam the shit out of him. You got 5 yards to beat his ass. So go ahead and whoop the shit out of him for 5 yards. And then, hey, just go from there. Stay in his hip pocket from there. But he gives him space. He gives him freedom to do whatever he wants. And it looks like he does do an outside stab, which he has, if he's playing outside leverage, I guess he does have to respect that. But it opens up the inside, and he's beat on a slant route. So there's that. All right, we got another one in press. Oh, got my boy Dillon Bell. I'm a Georgia fan. I can't really tell anybody else in here besides Dillon Bell, and that's just because some of the guys aren't wearing their normal numbers. There's no name on the jerseys. I just happen to be a Georgia fan, so that's the only reason I know that this is Dillon Bell, and he actually is wearing his number. So got another one playing press man here. Looks like Everett. Fuck, PTSD. Dillon Bell. His back foot's going first on his release. But from what I've seen so far, good reaction by the DB. Not getting too jumpy, staying patient. All right, takes outside leverage here. Inside leverage, takes outside release. You just got to stay with him. You just got beat. You got to stay with him. He's getting beat too. Oh, good comeback. Oh, he just made a good catch. All right, so in this situation here, all right, he's in phase. Not bad positioning. He's a taller guy, which, whatever. But hey, he's able to track the ball. He gets his head around and tracks the ball. Look, appears he's going against a shorter receiver. All right, closes space pretty well. But you gotta get the ball at the highest point. The highest point already happened, and I know the guy's in the way, but he's still on the ground. Your feet are still on the ground. You gotta catch the ball at the highest point. Because he didn't go for the ball at the highest point, it went over his head, and the guy from Georgia Tech caught it. The receiver caught it. The reason why you have to jump the ball at the highest point is because the ball isn't meant for you. The quarterback is throwing the ball to the receiver, not you. The ball is not meant for you. You have to jump the ball at the highest point so you can prevent the ball from getting to the receiver on the descent. He doesn't do that here, so he absolutely gets cooked. Can't really tell what the fuck happened there. My bad. Let me go and fix the volume. All right, so we're going to see what happened here. Some of these go by very quick, so it was pretty hard to tell what's going on. All right. Once again, it looks like he's playing press. He lets him do a whole dance without putting his hands on. His hands are on his knees. All right. And like I said, it may be different because I am a bigger guy, weight-wise. So maybe this is why I feel this way. I'm 210 pounds. So situation, and I'm knowing that I'm more than likely a stronger guy than the receiver. If I'm playing press coverage, I'm trying to break his ribs. All right. I'm using the heel of my hand to try to break his ribs on the jam so that way he doesn't have anywhere to go. Or he has places to go, but he's gonna have to earn his way there. He lets him do a whole dance and then run a slant on him. And it's a catch. Plays a little bit off here. Catch technique, it looks like. All right. This one. Personally, I hate playing catch technique. I fucking despise it. Personally. Part of it is just because I'm gonna be real. I wasn't good at it. That's part of the reason right there. I was not good at playing catch technique. I know I'm a physical guy, but I'd rather just be up in your grill than, basically buzz my feet, wait for you to get to me, and then try to catch and then basically try to play trail technique from there. I fucking hate it. But he plays 2 yards off, which I don't like doing that. If you're gonna play off, or 3 yards off, he's 3 yards off. My bad. If you're gonna play off, either be at 5 to 7 or play press and be up in his grill. Be a yard off and be up in his grill. In between that, like I said, your technique has to be pretty much perfect because you're not far enough to be able to, you're not far back enough to be able to like kind of read the route and be able to react with more time better in that situation. But you're also not close enough to really get hands on him before he makes his move, makes his release. So that's why your technique has to be pretty much perfect when you're playing that in-between range, which is like 2 or 3 yards off. Tries to play catch, doesn't work, and then he gets shredded on that route. Way to not give up on the play, though. 27, that's good hands right there. Way to get hands on him. You fucked up his timing, and you got a pick, and your draft stock just went up, probably. All right. Look, just look at this here. All right, we're going to let this one play out. Like I said, these go by pretty quick. Look, off rip, he's already got hands on him if you saw. I know the quarterback's in the way. Cade. But look, he's whooping his ass within 5 yards. He's within 5 yards in his grill, beating the shit out of him, and it's fucking up his route and it's fucking up his timing. All right? Then he gets his head around, reads that, gets a pick. Yeah, I know they receivers from Incarnate Word, but whatever. All right, the only thing I got to say about this one, he gets his hands on him. Perfect. Beat his ass while he's within 5. All right. He shreds off, which is just a good play by the receiver. Knock his hands down is what you're supposed to do. But good patience. The receiver should have stacked better, but he didn't. But even though he does stack, he's able to react to the ball, which he does. He reacts. Like I said, just another one of those highest point things, but that's just a good throw, good catch by the quarterback and receiver. That's going to happen sometimes. All right, we got somebody playing off. Looks like, is he playing 10 yards off? If he's playing 10 yards off, he has to be a safety. He must actually have to be a safety. And even then, okay, he's playing 8. Playing 8 yards off, I prefer 7 personally. He's playing 8 yards off. This guy might be a safety, but he is playing toward the corner, like playing like he's a corner. But either way, he's playing off man. All right. Basically, from here, when you're playing off man, you're basically just reading the hips of the receiver, and you're weaving. You don't want to let the receiver get his shoulders even with your shoulders. So you want to maintain your leverage by using your weave pedal and basically reading hips from there. All right, he just runs a shorter route. Not much you can really do there. Not a whole lot you can do there. And then he punches at the ball, which is good. Go ahead and try to secure the tackle. I don't even know where the fuck the DB is. He has already ran 7 yards, and the DB's not in the frame. What the fuck? All right. Another thing about playing off. You don't have to, as soon as the receiver takes off the snap of the ball, you don't have to be in a full speed back pedal. You don't have to do that. And like I said, this guy probably is a safety, so he's not the best cover guy. But you don't have to be in a full pedal when you're playing man-to-man off the ball. I know he's in the slot, so I'm guessing this guy's a safety. But this guy takes off, and he's already about 5 to 6. He grabs about 7 yards into the route before the DB even shows up in the frame. He does maintain leverage, which is good. But look where his eyes are. His eyes aren't on the hips of the receiver. His eyes are on the quarterback. He's looking at the passer. Then he tries to redirect his eyes to the receiver. It's too late. All right, this is the Shrine Bowl. These guys are good. All right, these guys are about to go to the NFL. These guys are trying to get paid. They were good in college. That little fuck up right there, and you're fried. All right, and that was it. That was it. All right, playing press. Gotta get more hands on him than that. Gotta get more hands on him than that. But that's still good coverage. That is great coverage right there. Perfect defense. Wait, did he catch that? Wait a minute. Am I tripping? All right, like I said, get more hands on him. Battles with him. He fucking caught it. That's just a good play. All right, homie Dillon Bell. All right, way to get hands on him. I say that's good defense. I know he makes the catch, but you're in position to make a tackle too. So, that's good. That's good. I know Dillon Bell. I heard he was doing pretty well, during these one-on-ones. But if you're gonna play, see, here's the thing: if you're playing inside leverage, which I think he is, I know he takes that slide step outward. You don't have to respect that slide step. You don't have to. Your job is to keep him inside. You can let him go outside all he wants. But he takes that slide step. You see that where his foot is. His foot's all the way out there. And that's a good jam. He's got two hands on him. Then he takes off on the route. Stays with him. But you gotta do your best to watch those hips. And his eye level, it looks like he's watching his shoulders more so than his hips. So that's what kind of made it a little bit more difficult for him to swing his hips around and be able to make a play on the ball. And that's how Dillon Bell was able to make, pretty good separation. Dillon Bell's a strong dude. He's a strong guy. So it's a good play right there. Playing way the fuck off. And like I said, they're playing safety, so they might actually have him at 10 yards off, I guess. But if you're going to have him at 10 yards off, it's, it's whatever. Gotta have better reaction time than that. Can't tell who this is. Yeah, he's a Georgia receiver, but I cannot tell who that is. He's a taller guy. All right, so breaking this down. Might be playing out. Yeah, he's playing outside leverage. I mean, he just straight up let him get the inside like that. I'm going to assume he's playing outside leverage, which I fucking hate for a one-on-one. I know you're trying to imitate like real game situations, but there's no safety to help him out in this situation. So if he gets cooked, it looks bad because he's playing outside leverage in a one-on-one, which is already to the offense's advantage, but there's no safety there to help him. All right. And trust me, you would think these scouts are smart enough to know this shit, and they really aren't. I'm not bullshitting. These scouts nowadays are not bright at all. They don't know football for real. All right, so gets in his grill. Like I say, should have got hands on him a little bit more, especially if he is going inside, but he gets his hands on him on the top of the route there. Got to get his head around. I know you got lucky he dropped it, but you got to get your head around and make a play on the ball. He's been slicing shit up, man. This Iowa slot has been straight up slicing shit. All right, they have him playing outside leverage. All right, makes a quick break out there. You got a fast guy on the slot. Your footwork has to be pretty good. It wasn't, so he got beat. All right, see, this Cal corner is pissing me off, and I get it. It's California. All right, they aren't the most physical guys out there. They're not. You'll get one every once in a while, but they're not physical like we are down here. He's playing a yard off. He lets this LSU receiver. He lets him do the fucking Dougie off the line. And like I said, you gotta bench press his ass at some point. You can't let him just dance his way up to you. All right, and then try to react because he stabs out, and you still were too slow to get there. You still weren't quick enough to get there. No, whoop his ass at the line. I'm not letting you do that dance without me at least getting hands on you. Now, if I get my hands on you, you manage to beat me from there. It is what it is. But if I'm gonna get beat, don't get beat by letting him do what the fuck he wants. Especially if you're playing press. Beat the brakes off of him. See, he got hands on him. That's a good receiver he's dealing with. That's just a good play right there. He's got to break on the ball better, but that's a good play. We got another press man situation here. Now, as far as like DB stances going, where you put your arms and press, that is similar to what I do. Doesn't matter that much as long as you're able to get your hands up there. I prefer having your hands more so outwards, so that way you don't have to spend as much time trying to shoot from your hip. Like you're down here by your hips and you're trying to shoot up. It does take time to get there. Like I said, the game, especially at the college level, it is very quick, very fast. You got your hands there. You're ready to shoot if you need to. Good patience so far. Footwork. Gets hands on him. Just whoop his ass. There you go. That NC State DB, man, I hope his draft stock goes up, man. I really hope these scouts are truly paying attention to him. That is a true press man merchant right there. Well, I ain't going to say merchant, but he's whooping the piss out of people with that press man. And that is very useful in the game of football. All right, another press man here. Looks like he's playing outside leverage for sure. He's playing inside. All right, he's playing inside. Stays with him. Yeah, he did shoot his hands a little too early there. That is a PI. Yeah. It's off, man. Fucking these people up. That Cal corner playing press ain't getting hands on again. He did that time. I say do it more at the line, but it worked. Oh, that's hips right there, man. I don't know. Like I said, these guys just got done playing the season, so I don't know if these guys are still banged up a bit. These guys could be hurt up a little bit. I know Nebraska didn't go too far this year, but hey, like I said, it's a brutal season. Just got out of it. You're basically training for this, so hey, he might be beat up. Those hips were they were locked up there. See, he's got his hands by his hips, which, like I said, I'm personally not a big fan of. But hey, he does what he does. Shoots his hands there, which is good. But right here. All right, I know he does like a back shoulder like turnaround here, which is kind of tough to guard. But you got to flip those hips and get there. But hey, way to make the play, though. I always give props. If you give up a catch, go ahead and make the play. I know they're not really tackling to the ground in this environment. But go ahead and try to secure the tackle. You're going to get beat sometimes. The least you can do is get the guy on the ground. Look like he just ran an out route on him there. He is playing way the fuck off. Good grief. All right, he is at 10. I don't know if they're trying to do like a cover 3 bail disguise, or well, not even a disguise, like just a 3 bail for the corner. 2 to the flat disguise where he lined up way the fuck down there. He just sprints down to the flat, carries and sprints. I don't know, but he's 10 yards off. That's a lot of cushion. He runs a deep route. He collisions him. I don't know if I'm calling the flag on that. I guess it looks like he initiates the contact, but it looks like both of them were for fist fighting there. All right, let's see. 3 yards off. Like I said, that in between, man, his technique got to be flawless. And it was. That technique was fucking flawless. I know the receiver slipped, but he was there. That technique was flawless. Dillon Bell, that's a physical man. Like I said, man, I know we're only like a couple minutes in. I'm going to let a couple clips just play because we are getting a little long in the video. This is just hilarious. All right, he gets his hands on him. I guess, like I said, I don't know if he's playing inside or outside, with or without consent. But this ain't even Dillon Bell. It's just another Georgia receiver. And you know them Georgia boys, they be strong, man. And he just fucking skull crushing finale. That's just a good throw. That's a good ass throw. Good. Whew. Playing a yard off. That's why you gotta put hands on him. If you get hands on him, he doesn't have the freedom. Like, you got 5 yards to beat him up. All right, he doesn't have the freedom to do all this shit. He got you turning and bail, about to turn and bail. And granted, his hips not sunk. He's about to break inside, and then look, you ain't gonna be quick enough to stop that. Were they in 2 different zip codes, bro? Like, that DB is gone, bro. He just showed up in the front. That's a good throw. He got to break on the ball a little quicker than that. That's a piss poor throw. I mean, that's about what that is. That's a shit throw. Good footwork. Good footwork. All right. Now he's in that position where he's just barely got to the line of scrimmage. All right. He's gotta go towards you at this point. He's either gotta go towards you or he's gotta break either direction. Either way, if you put your hands on him, instead of going back, go lateral, because he hasn't broken the line of scrimmage. He hasn't truly broken your cushion yet. All right. You basically just let him do his dance and then just cut. He's going to cut to your blind side. Receivers are taught to, try to create a blind spot. I know they're being given specific routes. So they're being taught to, if you can't beat them off your release, create a blind spot for the DB and then attack the blind spot. Because you're going to make the DB have to try to react to, try to flip his hips and break on the ball. He knows the route, you don't. So, I mean, that's what receivers are taught to do. That's why you try to prevent them from doing that by beating the shit out of them, in my opinion. Impress man. Yard off. All right. Got some hands on him. That's still good coverage. That's still really good coverage. If you're not going to get hands on him, you got to be a blanket. And most people are not blankets. And that was a blanket right there. There you go. There you go. That's that South Carolina State guy from the last video. He did better there. It was a bad throw. There you go. There you go. That was textbook. All right, stay with him. Stay with him. All right, he puts his hands on you. You have the right to put your hands on him too. All right. You just can't necessarily, do a full wrap up bear hug, which he doesn't do. Stays with him. Bam. And breaks up the pass. That's great defense right there. That's fantastic. All right, he getting ready to shoot them hands. All right. Playing a yard off. Got the footwork. But that's why you want to protect that inside a lot more. You want to protect that inside. You're playing inside leverage. Go lateral. All right, you did a great job of shooting the hands, but you didn't have to flip your shoulders to get out there. You didn't have to do that. You flipped your shoulders to, basically bail upfield, and you didn't have to do that. Then he runs a return route, and it's there. It's open. All right. Can't let him do all that dancing. But that's still good coverage. That's still really good coverage there. Way to recover. Let me see here. All right. See, like I said, I don't know if he's playing inside or outside leverage. He does a great job of getting hands on him. Got stacked, though. You can't let that happen. He got lucky he dropped it. I couldn't see the beginning. Looks like he gave up there or whatever. Played outside and still cooked him. Oh, we got teammates here. 2 Oregon guys. 2 Oregon guys, just like practice. Oh, it was like he knew a route he was finna run, because he got beat toward the inside, and he just stayed outside because it's like he knew he was coming back out, or the way he was gonna come back out. I like 29 from North Carolina. He's playing well. That Maryland DB, shit fire. And save matches. Good grief. I mean, looks like a shit rep by everybody involved. I mean, why are you backing up? Like, why are you backing up already? This man got in a full pedal off rip. Why are you doing that? No, you don't have to do that. No. No. You're just handing him cushion. You automatically just going back. You don't have to do that. Stay patient. Stay patient. That's one of the best qualities of a DB, especially in like man coverage. You got to be patient in those situations. Don't just bail the fuck out. All right, then you didn't get hands on him to, mess up the timing. He's free to do whatever he wants. Then he's faster than you, I guess. Quarterback was digging in his ass, so who knows what happened from there. All right. Head around. Great coverage. Fucking fantastic. Come on, Vandy. You can't let him do all that. Bad throw. All right. And that's the thing. One of the qualities, and I get it. I know these coaches now, they want all these tall ass DBs because the Richard Sherman, Jalen Ramsey movement. All right. If you want to know the truth about most tall DBs, not all, but most of them, they rely way too much on their height. And that's why when you look at stuff like, for example, Coach Prime at Colorado came out today and said he does not recruit DBs under 5'11". Now, they give up about 300 yards a game through the air, but hey, what And yeah, you had Travis Hunter who was 6'1". That's Travis Hunter. All right. That was already going to be a really good DB, a really good corner. But he says his DBs, especially corners, he does not want them below 5'11". But here's the problem with most tall DBs. They try to rely so much on the fact that they're tall to where they think that their shit don't stink and that when they get beat, oh, I can slender man my way over there and make a play. And that shit does not work against a competent receiver. Yeah, I mean, he got fried on that route. But like I say, he's already backing up. Use your long ass arms and punch him in his chest. But he lets him go on and then gets beat. Way to be physical. You already know that North Carolina State DB gonna be physical. He fucking niggas up. Just go ahead and somebody gotta put him on that draft board. That corner from North Carolina State who's wearing number 27 at the Shrine Bowl, go ahead, scouts, and put him on your draft board. The man can play football, all right? He's physical. He seems like he's got the size. He's physical, and not only is he physical, but he has good technique as well. He's not just being overly physical to where he gets beat. He's got good technique, all right? Put him on the draft board. Also, that guy from North Carolina who's wearing number 29. Put him on the draft board, too. Look at his stock. He's good at what he does. All right, we got the South Carolina State guy going against the Montana receiver. That's good. Hey, that's good defense. Bad ball there, but that's still good defense. Oh, he's playing 10 yards off. That Bama guy getting cooked. All right, and you know what's crazy? They're probably going to draft that Bama guy before that North Carolina State guy, that South Carolina State, or that North Carolina guy. And he's been getting cooked all day. Or that Maryland corner. They going to draft somebody like that over him. But this is like the end. All right, that was the last play of the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be sure to do some more reaction videos in the future. But yeah, stay dirty, stay dangerous. We'll catch y'all for the next one.